Hey, this is Sam here from samnuka.com, and I want to thank you for stopping by and watching this video. In this video, this particular training, I wanted to speak to you about developing a marketing mindset. Basically, it is having an attitude of communication to attract customers who will come and buy from you. So 5 steps to a marketer's mindset. Number 1, always be willing to test absolutely everything. And the idea behind this is that marketing is essentially an ever-evolving game. Things are always changing, from lead pages to email strategies to websites to social media. There are so many things that are constantly being loaded onto on top of what we're already currently doing as marketers that we need to learn. Now, I'm not saying, go ahead and apply every single strategy that becomes available. For example, if you decide to go by social media, that's fine. Focus on 1 or 2 platforms and attack. I wouldn't necessarily focus on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and who knows, Instagram, right? That would be a bad idea because you'd be stretching yourself too thin, especially at the beginning when you're still gaining some momentum in the market. It's best to focus on 1 or 2 things and attack that full-headedly and with 100% focus and vigor, and make sure that you dominate and you find your way of making a mark on that particular platform. Okay, so that's a little bit different, but what I mean by always be willing to test everything is, be willing to test your copy, be willing to test your headlines, be willing to split test your landing pages, your web forms, so on and so forth, your videos, if that's what you're going to do. Okay, test different things to find out what it is that's actually right, as opposed to assuming that the one that you've put together is the right thing. Okay, now everything is simply a result, and the reason I say that is because you don't need to look at everything that comes by as a failure. I remember going through a training once, and this 8-figure mentor, 8 figures, this guy was making tens of millions of dollars, right? He spoke about everything being a result, and the reason why he taught that particular principle is because he found that even with all of the knowledge that he had gained, remember, this guy is making tens of millions of dollars, he was only producing 20% correct most whenever he would launch something, right? That's pretty amazing when you think about how farly advanced he is, and he's really only be able to produce 20% successfully. The difference is that he's willing to test everything. So he'll test his headline, he'll test his email copy, he'll test his responder sequence, he'll test his landing page and products, and so on and so forth, and the list goes on forever. And by that, he looks at everything simply as a result. Whether it comes back in the negative or the positive is really up to you and how you actually interpret that. See, that in itself is a marketer's mindset, right? So you're looking at things very rationally and logically, and you're looking at it going, okay, that's great, that's a result, what do I need to do to improve from there on out? Okay, become non-attached, focus on results. So this kind of ties back into point number 2, and by non-attached, I'm not talking about you becoming a robot, right? I'm not talking about you looking at people solely as numbers, but look at it as a result. Look at it in terms of what kind of results am I getting based on what it is that I'm actually putting out there. So you might get results that you're not necessarily so happy with, like you're probably aiming for more. Go back to point number 1 and be willing to test everything, but keep number 2 in mind, which is focus on the result that's actually come through. Remember, the best in the world at 20% hit rate. Okay, the difference is that the best in the world continue to tweak and twist and turn until they get to the point of a ridiculously powerful marketing campaign. Be committed, okay? So be committed to your customers and prospects. And I definitely had to put this point in there because it's a little bit contradictory in a way, especially in the way that I do it in terms of value-based content marketing, where point number 3 talks about become non-attached and focus on results. So I'm actually very attached, and I'm very committed to my customers and my prospects, because customers are my lifeline, they are my business, okay, and my prospects are my future lifeline and business, and so I treat them at a different pedestal from people who are simply stopping by to have a look at something, to maybe have a comment, and so on and so forth. So I know these two, point number 3 and number 4, seem a little bit contradictory, but let me explain. You want to focus on the results in terms of like a science experiment. Irrespective of what comes through, chances are that by twisting and tweaking things, you can improve it by 400%. Okay, so you can go from that 20 to 100%. That's 5 times the results that you're currently getting. Okay, and a 400% improvement. Be committed to your customers and prospects by answering every single question that comes through. Whether you sit with them on Facebook and they email and email and email and they're asking all these different questions, take the time to answer them. They might I've gotten into like a 18 or 20 sentence reply on one particular YouTube video with one customer because it was something that he was trying to figure out. I stayed up late. I put together a video to help answer his question once we figured out what it actually was. I've literally sat there and answered questions on Facebook, based on how to help this lady get her message out there further, compared to where she currently was, right? I've had email dialogues, go 20, 30, 40 emails deep, and I'm not even exaggerating, okay? I've literally sat there for days on end replying and answering questions and basically giving the best I've possibly got to my customers and my prospects, okay? Because it's by being committed that you show that you have a genuine care and commitment to their success, and when they feel that, they're going to come flocking. They're going to go from prospects to customers, and from customers to raving crazy lunatic fans, right? And I mean that in the most humble and respectful way. What I mean is that they're going to love you, they're going to be loyal to you, and they're going to stick to what it is that you're teaching and that you're selling, because you've given them the answers that they're searching for. You're giving them the time of the day. You're fully investing yourself for their success, okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every person that you sit down with and have a 2-hour chat with is going to buy your product. Man, don't get me wrong, I've certainly had those conversations as well. Sat there for 2 hours on Skype answering every single question on the planet, person never joined. Now, do I take offense to that? No, because it is a numbers game. That's where I go back to my mindset of being non-attached and focusing on results. Because when I am able to sit down and chat with people, my close rate is between 70 and 80%, right? Majority of people, they buy straight away. But there are 2 or 3 people out of 10 that are gonna go, well, look, thank you so much for answering all my questions, but this really just isn't for me. And that's cool. I don't want people who are going to be half committed themselves if I'm going to be all the way committed myself. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Okay, so the mantra of a marketer's mindset. In order to get into a marketer's mindset, what they think about 24/7 is test, test, test. And this is something that I really had to get into. So when I first really got involved in the industry, this was 6, 7 odd years ago. When I got in, what I was looking for was, templates and, shortcuts and different ways to do this and that. And ultimately what I had to commit myself to, after 18 months of pure frustration, going up and down almost like a yo-yo, I had to commit myself to testing, and continuing to do so until I got the results that I wanted. And it wasn't until I really made that commitment that things really started taking off. Within 2 months, I had my first profitable campaign, which was absolutely insane when you consider the 18 months of frustration prior to it, right? So from there on out, the mantra has been test, test, test. And this doesn't come from me. These are coming from the top guys in the world. All the training that I get, I combine it with my experience and the knowledge that I've found, and I put it together and I put it out for you. Okay, so that you can learn, just like I wish there was someone around to teach me when I was learning. Okay, so adopt the mindset of test, 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 because if you're ever wondering what the answer is to a specific question, the answer literally is to test and find out. Do you want to find what headline is better, this one or this one? Go and test it, right? Put it out there. Buy $30 worth of solo ads and see who clicks on which one more. There's your answer. Okay, want to find out which landing page is better, this one or this one? Cool. Buy some pay-per-click advertising and drive it that way. Or if you're doing free traffic, drive your free traffic to those 2 particular things. If you want to set up split test, you can do so with various softwares. Okay, so essentially what you want to do is these 5 steps. These 5 steps are going to really put you into a marketer's mindset, and if you want that marketing mindset, it's really going to set you apart. Majority of people think that it's all about the strategy, all the how to and what and why and all that sort of stuff. I'm here to tell you that it's all in your mind. Okay, it's 80% mindset, it's 20% strategy. The reason being is that without the proper mindset, you're going to look at things wrong, you're going to get the wrong results, you're going to fail, you're going to quit. Okay, if you have the right mindset, you're going to look at things the right way, you're not going to be discouraged by whatever results come through, and you're going to continue on. And that's basically the key to success, right? I always talk about what would be your answer if I said, how long would you give a child the chance to learn how to walk, right? A lot of people would think, well, that's a stupid question. You would let them practice walking until they actually walk, right? Irrespective of how many times they fall down. They might trip over and hit their head. They might hurt their legs. They might fall over and hurt their back. They're going to fall on their butts, right? And it's going to be sore, right? But at the end of the day, they get up and they keep going. And it is the same thing with a marketer's mindset, and quite frankly, anything in terms of success in life. The winners are the ones who keep getting up despite being knocked down. Okay, so adopt these 5 steps to a marketer's mindset. Always be willing to test everything. Everything is simply a result. Become a non-attached, focused on results person. Be committed to your customers, prospects, and I forgot to put in there, yourself. All right, you deserve the success that you want, but you need to be committed to what it is that you want to attain. Okay, and adopt the mantra of test, test, test. Whatever you're thinking, is this one better or is this one? Test. Is this one better or this one? Test. Is this course better than this course? Test. Is this headline better than this headline? Test. Right? Hopefully I've drilled that message into you enough so you really understand how important this actually is. Okay, so look, I want to thank you again for stopping by and watching this video. I want to offer you my free online marketing course that I've just put together for all of my followers, my prospects, and my email subscribers. Okay, this is going to take you basically from the start of your online marketing journey and not having a clue, and I mean that with the utmost respect. Everybody's going to start somewhere, and taking you all the way through to the point where you understand exactly what this online marketing game is all about and how to go about attacking it. All right, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the inside. Go ahead and click that link right now, get that free training right now, take full advantage, and I will talk to you soon.